Nick Cannon wears whiteface, sparks internet debate. Yes. So Nick Cannon is trying to promote his new album. It is called White People Party Music, and it drops on April Fool's Day, April 1st. And in order to promote the album, he's come up with this white boy persona. He calls him Connor Smallnuts, and it's like a skater kid. He looks kind of like Shaun White. I looked at the video. Sounds like Shaun White. Looks like Shaun White. And basically, he's done a lot of like Instagram videos and photos as Connor Smallnuts, but it's definitely sparked a lot of debate. Now, on some of these photos, he writes, "It's official, I'm white. Hashtag white people party music. In stores April 1st. Dude, go get it. Join the party. Hashtag good credit. Hashtag dog kissing. Hashtag beer pong. Hashtag farmer's market. Fist pumping, cream cheese eating, racial draft, etc." And people are either saying that it's funny, or people, and that people are overreacting, or people are saying, no, there's a double standard, it's hypocritical, it's ignorant, and it's racist. For instance, well, first of all, Nick Cannon did tweet out, and Nick said, "It's funny how people take themselves so seriously. People love drama, we feed off of it. Just relax and have fun." Someone else tweeted to Nick saying, "Let me relax, have fun, and wear blackface. Let's see how everyone reacts." And then Nick tweeted back, "Do it, I dare you." Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Thinks he can.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Huh.
Oops, I did it before.
Stuff white people don't like.
Acting like an April's fool.
Ooh.
Okay, so wow, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so let's begin with, did you guys think it was funny when you watched the sketch?
Nope.
I didn't either.
It was as subtle as a cannon. That's the thing, is like, if you're going to do it, you need to understand that it is a touchy subject, and you have to be dexterous in your satire.
Yes.
You can't just show up and be like, "Yeah, man, I'm Connor Smallnuts." You have to have something a little bit more subtle.
A little bit more of an angle.
Something more white chicks, you know? Something way beyond below the radar.
Yeah.
Okay, Shanna, you've done this before.
I've done whiteface.
So what is your take on this?
Okay, so I didn't particularly find his take on it funny.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I mean, I didn't find it offensive, obviously, because I'm not white.
Yeah.
But I also, I like to state the obvious, just in case you missed it. Not
Get out
white.
of here. You're non-white. Get out.
Not white. No, but you know, for me, it wasn't particularly funny and it wasn't offensive.
Right.
But I also just think, as you mentioned, his dexterity in terms of comedy is not that great when it comes to this. He didn't have an angle.
No satire with it. Like,
He had no angle. He wasn't poking fun at himself. He was literally just pointing the finger. Now, I do think there is, when people compare it to blackface, I think they completely take out the historical context of the fact that there is a historical precedent for literally trying to oppress an entire race of people for centuries.
Yeah,
Right.
you cannot compare.
You can't say it's the
I'm not
same.
saying that the people that may be offended.
No,
I'm
not saying that.
Right.
But I am
you
saying that there is a
compare. You cannot, considering our Black history and the injustices that occurred, you cannot compare people blackface to
not the
whiteface.
same thing.
I'm not saying that if you're not offended, you have no right to not be offended, but it's not the same.
At all.
Bree,
At
what
all.
was your thoughts on this?
The thing is, I didn't find it funny. I also didn't find it offensive, but giving Nick Cannon the benefit of the doubt, he did a lot of stuff for charity on Teen Nick when I used to watch Degrassi.
I believe in separating the art from the artist. So I'm not saying that as a person, he's an asshole because he did something that is controversial or not necessarily good or whatever, or not necessarily funny, but I'm saying this particular work, I mean, I've seen him do things that I thought were funnier.
Sure.
This, I didn't think was particularly funny.
A little bit more witty and intelligent. At the end of the day, I think you should ask yourself, what I'm about to do, is it going to bridge race relations, or is it going to create tension? This has created tension. So I think when you look at some of the people that are offended, I'm not offended. I'm not offended at all. I didn't think it was funny, but it is creating a lot of tension. So why even do something that's going to spark that? Or is it important to spark like a thoughtful debate?
I don't think he was like, you know what I'm going to do is change the racial dialogue in
Right,
America.
definitely
I think he's
I
like,
was trying
oh,
to
stuff
give
white
him the
people
benefit of the
like,
doubt,
there's white
but
people
yeah.
party music. You know, there's one argument that like, maybe he's living in like this post-racial divide world, but he's not.
No, he's not. No.
And ultimately, I can say from the time that I did it, which was last year, so I did it like a year ago, for me, the experience was about seeing if people saw me differently, acting the same way as I always do, went with white makeup on and a blonde wig, and
Right.
you know, and I'll tell this story really quickly. I went at the end of the shoot. I went to drop off an extra camera that I'd borrowed from a friend's house, and I ring the doorbell, and they're like, "Yes, can I help you?" And this is someone who I've had 50 dinners with, who's known me for maybe like 2 years, and I'm like, "Hello, it's Sean." And they literally saw the color first.
Wow.
So for me, there is something that could be done there if you want to spark conversation
That's
about racial,
interesting. That's
race in
interesting.
America.
That's the difference.
But
Yeah.
because that's all that I look
I
the
just don't-
same.
There's an if you want to see like another example of like really good whiteface, there's
Yeah.
an Eddie Murphy Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live
No, you're
sketch
right.
where he puts himself in whiteface and goes out and like buys a newspaper, and the joke is that white people give each other things. And then there's Tropic Thunder was another example
That was
where
pure
Robert Downey
satire. Robert Downey Jr. was so upset when people weren't giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I thought it was really obvious that his character, being an actor, donning blackface, was supposed to evoke change. Well, the director's message and his message, because it was satire, and they thought it was so bad, and that they were making fun of that.
There is a sensitivity in this country that we have to be aware of, but I do think as artists, we kind of have to not play to that, because if you do, you'll never actually get beyond the sense of, oh, there's a black person and there's a
Right.
white person, and and have the actual dialogue of we're just people. So I do think that's the beauty of art. We can do things that are edgy and controversial and get people thinking.
All right, what did you guys think about Nick Cannon wearing whiteface? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all next time on Pop Trigger.